This is News 25 with Dee-Anna O'Donnell and Stacy Jensen. News 25, local news you can count on. News is brought to you by J.K. Nelson Law. Give them a call, 727-9900. News is also brought to you by Desert View Hospital. You can count on us.
Happy Friday. I'm Dee-Anna O'Donnell. Thanks for joining us here on KPVM TV and Ace Country Radio.
And I'm Stacy Jensen. It is Friday, April 22nd. Happy Earth Day.
Yes. Well, Nye County voters got a chance to hear from another round of candidates Thursday evening during the Republican Town Hall debate held at the Bob Roode Community Center. The second of three debates featured candidates from the Treasurer's Office, County Commission District 5, and the District Attorney.
First up was Raelyn Powers, who's running for Nye County Treasurer. Incumbent John Prudhomme, who abruptly resigned 2 weeks ago, says he'll remain on the ballot, though he declined to participate in last night's debate. Powers explained why she's qualified for the job.
For the past 3 years, I've been managing the operations of our Nye County Treasurer's Department. I also have a background in accounting, finance, and auditing of 30 years experience. I also conducted bank reconciliations for the state of Alaska, Child Support Enforcement Division, and handled their operations as well. I believe ethics, honesty, morale, all of that goes hand in hand. You can't have one without the other. Sometimes you have to be brutally honest with individuals, even if you know that it might hurt their feelings or not be the information or the news that they want to hear.
Next, the audience heard from the Republican candidates for Nye County Commissioner District 5, including incumbent Debra Strickland, Dee-Anna Mounts, and William Simpson, who spoke about special interest groups.
I'm going to listen to everything that everyone has to say. That's the job. You know, they bring you their special interest and they say, hey, I would like to move forward with something. Well, unless it's good for you guys, it's not going to happen. It's just not what we do. Our job is to look out for you guys. What can't be bought? You guys hear that statement before? You know, that's where I sit. I can't be bought. I'm not interested in your special interest if it's not in the special interest of the people.
Special interests are by nature a special interest. I certainly want to hear what their interest is and how they feel that in their mind it's not a special interest. But no, again, everything that we have to do for the people.
Special interests are not friends of voters or residents or even commissions. They're out for one thing, and that's money, and it doesn't matter what we have to go through for them to get paid. So no, I don't work with special interests ever.
And finally, voters got to hear from the two Republican candidates for Nye County District Attorney, incumbent Chris Arabia and challenger Brian Coonsey. In this exchange, the two sparred about the number of cases being prosecuted.
I would say my first primary goal in taking over the district attorney's office is really to start to get the numbers back up to what's actually being prosecuted. And it's interesting that the pandemic is now being used as an excuse for why cases haven't been filed. The reality of it is every agency across this state has been prosecuting cases, but what we see here in Nye County is very disturbing numbers from the standpoint of how many cases are actually getting prosecuted.
First of all, I'm not trying to win a prize for racking up the highest number of cases filed. There is a notion of efficiency. Since my administration was attacked, I would respond by saying that under my opponent's administration, they lost something like 14 or 15 jury trials, which is an astonishingly high number. And that's part of a lack of proper screening and vetting and knowing, what cases need to be negotiated and what cases can go to trial.
One, I don't think that number is even close to accurate as far as cases in which there were acquittals on trials. But the other thing is that it's also a very false number, because the reality is almost every one of those cases that went to verdicts that got acquittals was actually being handled by the Attorney General's office. It was a person who was embedded in my office, but they were handling all the crimes against children. And unfortunately, I had no control over how those cases got prosecuted.
Nye County Assessor Sheree Stringer also appeared on stage to answer questions. Her opponent, Wayne Buck, chose not to participate in last night's debate. Stringer spoke about her availability and willingness to answer questions.
Well, I have an open door policy. I'm there Monday through Thursday, 7 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. The only time you will not find me in my office is if I'm sick on vacation, at a conference, or at another meeting. My staff will tell you that I'm there all the time. Sometimes they think I'm there too much. But work ethic is something that my mother instilled in me, and I have always done that, and I will always do that. I think it's very important to be in the office.
There is one more debate next Thursday evening when voters will be able to hear from candidates for County Commission District 1 and 4 and Nevada Assembly District 36 and Nye County Recorder. Like the first two debates, that one will run from 5 to 9 p.m. at the Bob Roode Community Center.
Changes, Desert Haven Animal Society will no longer operate the Pahrump Animal Shelter when their contract ends in June. County commissioners voted to allow the county to run the shelter. Local animal lovers are concerned that they could lead to a kill shelter, so they also continue to push the county to reconsider a recent rally in Pahrump. Desert Haven supporters gathered to show their opposition to the possible kill shelter. Meantime, supporters of County Commissioner Frank Carbone, who proposed the shelter changes, held their own rally just across the street. Desert Haven Executive Director Beth Kakavulias says the timing of Carbone's rally is suspect, but Carbone claims he didn't know anything about the Desert Haven rally. We'll be back.
We're here having a rally to support the animals after the Board of County Commissioners decided to make a vote for the new county shelter to be ran by the county instead of a no-kill organization. We decided that we were going to put some good use to our voices and come out here and show the public and let them know what's going on so they can get involved as well. The Prickly Pears did help organize this. They were the ones that came up with the date and the time, and then we came in with Desert Haven and part of the board and friends and family. We had posted on Facebook, it was in the newspaper, that we were going to be here at 11 in front of the Nugget. When we got here at about 10:45, there was a big crowd of Support Frank Carbone signs and American flags. Last I heard, he wasn't running until 2024, so I'm not quite sure why he was out campaigning this early. They were over on the side of the Nugget, so we decided to come over to the Bank of America. Then they decided to come over here by the Bank of America and be on both sides of us. But I wasn't going to let that diffuse us from defending the animals. That was our big thing. We're here to be their voice, and we weren't going to leave just because a couple of people were trying to make us feel uncomfortable. I truly think that it was on purpose, but without any proof, I couldn't guarantee that.
I was asked by some good friends of mine and some citizens. They wanted to know what was going on, why my name was being used, and all the issues in regards to the shelter. And I said, I'm not really positive why, even though there's 5 commissioners that sit on the board and they vote for things, and but somehow or another my name got singled out. And they said, well, let's have a rally. So we had a rally on Sunday.
You had the rally at the same time that Desert Haven had their planned rally. Can you talk to me a little bit more about that?
I have no idea about that. All I know was asked to show up at 10 o'clock with signs.
Because you didn't schedule this. Who did?
I couldn't answer that question. I don't know. Most folks in this town, including myself and every county commissioner and the people within the county that work in the county, do want to euthanize animals unless it's necessary. And necessary means the same things as everybody else does. An animal's sick, animal's hurt, can't be fixed, animal's too old, may not be able to be adopted. We don't have any place to put it in a sanctuary. So, you know, those are the cases you got to look at individually. It's nothing you do as, oh, animal's been here for 10 days, let's go kill it. Ain't gonna happen. Promise I can make you, as long as I'm here, you're not gonna get an animal euthanized just because it's ran out of space. The whole idea of the new shelter is to make sure we have enough space.
We'll be right back, right after the break.
You're watching News 25, the most recognized and farthest reaching local news in Nye County. News 25, local news you can count on. This segment is brought to you by Higher Society Smoke Shop in Las Vegas. Call 702-982-2300. Call 702-982-2300.
Welcome back. The Nye County Sheriff's Office is asking for the public's assistance in apprehending 2 burglary suspects.
The sheriff's office has identified one of the two suspects seen in these photos as Justin Jenkins, and authorities are asking for help in locating him. The sheriff's office is also asking for assistance in identifying the other unknown person seen here wearing the hoodie with the diamond logo. The sheriff's office says these two individuals burglarized a residence in Pahrump and stole multiple items, including a 1993 Kawasaki mule. If you can provide any information related to the individuals involved or the location of the missing items, please contact the Nye County Sheriff's Office via social media, by phone at 775-751-7000, or via email at sheriff@co.nye.nv.us.
And U.S. Health and Human Services Secretary Xavier Becerra promoted 988 at the recent Nevada Healthcare Summit. 988 is a new national mental health hotline for those who are in crisis and need immediate help. The hotline will launch on July 16th nationwide. The line will connect individuals to suicide prevention and mental health counselors. This emergency service is part of the Biden administration's strategy to help address the nationwide mental health crisis, which made worse by the pandemic. The organization says that they have over 100,000 people die from overdoses in the United States per year. In 2020, the CDC reported someone died by suicide every 11 minutes. The Health and Human Services announced Tuesday that it will award a $1 million grant to help fund the launching of the 988 hotline here in Nevada. Another $20 million will be for the American Rescue Act Fund, which will be used to establish crisis stabilization centers. Until the formal launch of the 988, anyone in a mental health crisis or emotional distress should call the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline at 1-800-273-TALK. That's 1-800-273-8255. For those who are not in crisis but are seeking treatment for options for mental health conditions, you can call 1-800-622-HELP. Again, that's 1-800-622-4357.
And Google says that they plan to invest $30 million in the state during this year and billions of dollars into offices and data centers around the United States. U.S. Senator Jackie Rosen met with Google.org President Jacqueline Fuller at the Henderson location, which broke ground in 2019. The announcement was at the company's second data center here in the state of Nevada. The other fully functional center is in Story County, which is in northern Nevada. Google plans to partner with the Silver State to help workers increase their digital skills. They even offer Google Career Certificates with support from the state's Department of Employment Training and Rehabilitation. And more news right after this break.
You're watching News 25, brought to you by Mountain West Lawyer, Injury Attorneys, 727-9500. News 25, local news you can count on.
And welcome back. An Ohio father is sharing his story after discovering he had kidney cancer during an annual physical. As Brittany Rahl reports, he would have never known he was sick had he not gone in and checked it out.
For 8 years, I've been right on the button to schedule that physical sometime in September. My birthday, September 2nd.
But last year, Bill Cosgrove decided to postpone his physical. He says he felt fine at the time and thought it could wait.
It felt so good, and I felt nothing was changing, that I procrastinated a little bit because of COVID. Something you shouldn't do, I learned.
He wound up scheduling his exam at Cleveland Clinic a few months later, and it was at that time his doctor noticed something unusual.
He looked at me and said, you know, everything else seems to be in line, but the triglycerides are so far off that let's do an ultrasound just to make sure that the liver is healthy.
During the ultrasound, they also looked at his kidneys and found what appeared to be a dark spot, so his doctor ordered a CT scan.
It was 3 or 4 hours later, after I came home, that Dr. Lang called me and told me that it's definitely a tumor.
Bill and his wife Paula were in shock.
I had no pain anywhere. You know, in that sense, it was almost like an out-of-body experience, because I felt no different than I've ever felt.
All I heard was renal cancer, and I couldn't comprehend what was going on or happening at the time.
His doctors wasted no time devising a treatment plan, and by January, Bill was heading into surgery to get the tumor removed.
The way this played out, we were able to get it out when it was still confined to the kidney, so he has an excellent prognosis of probably greater than 90 or greater than 95% chance that he'll stay cancer-free forever without any further treatment.
Bill says he was relieved to be okay and encourages others not to put off their annual physical.
It's really important to get the annual physical, right? We all have excuses. Life is busy, but really without just going that extra step of preventative care, were we able to detect a tumor that would have been non-detected until it was highly problematic, right? So we feel very fortunate.
For Cleveland Clinic, I'm Brittany Rawl.
And according to research, kidney cancer is among the 10 most common cancers in both men and women. Symptoms often don't become noticeable until late in the disease.
Well, you've met her before. We're going to meet her again. Darbie is out with Daisy at Desert Haven Animal Society.
Today's Save a Pet segment is made possible by Realty Executives in Action. Put the team at Realty Executives in action for you.
Hi, I'm Darbie here at Desert Haven Animal Society, and today we are joined with this cutie named Daisy. Daisy is a beautiful red-colored American Staffordshire Terrier mix. She is gorgeous. She has this reddish brown coloring all over her body, and then she has these cute little white markings on her neck and the top of her head, and then white little booties on all of her paws. She is what I would call a medium-sized dog, where she's too big to be a small, too small to be a medium. She is quite hefty though, very strong because of the breed type. She has this cute little pink nose and these beautiful eyes, and she's just so friendly, and she just wants to go to her forever home. Daisy is actually quite sad because she has been here since December, since before Christmas, so she wasn't anyone's Christmas present or Valentine's Day, but she's hoping that she can go to her forever home pretty soon. If you want to come and see Daisy or any of her friends here at Desert Haven Animal Society, you can give them a call at 775-751-7020. You can look them up on their Facebook page at Desert Haven Animal Society, and Daisy just wants to remind everyone that they're now open 7 days a week for adoptions. Desert Haven Animal Society will be having a Clear the Shelter event from April 25th until May 1st. There is currently 17 sponsors for animals, so you could come in and potentially get an animal completely free of charge because the adoption fees have already been paid for. So definitely come down between April 25th and May 1st to go and take home a forever friend. If you want to sponsor a pet for someone else to adopt, please call them at 775-751-7020 or reach out to them on their Facebook page at Desert Haven Animal Society.
News 25 WeatherCam is brought to you by Lerner and Rowe Injury Attorney's Office in Pahrump. In a wreck, need a check? Call 702-877-1500.
All right, even a little snow on those hills. We even see that. We'll have a full weather update for you coming up with John in just a moment.
News 25 weather is brought to you by Dairy Council of Nevada. The splash of cream in your coffee, the dollop of sour cream on your burrito, the melted toasty cheese on your pizza. Undeniably delicious, undeniably dairy. Enjoy what's real.
Hi, good evening, Nevada. It's John Kohler from the KPVM Channel 25 Weather Studios on an Earth Day Friday. Big shout out to the Earth. You're my favorite planet. You keep me alive, and you give me weather every day to report to all the nice people, so you give me something to do, too. Good job, Earth, on an Earth Day. That's your message from the weatherman. Burnley, Fallon, Carson City, look at y'all. Stuck in the mid-50s, yeah, upper 50s in Fallon. Look at you go. Tonopah hit 51 today. Goldfield, 57. Seems a lot cooler throughout the map today. 65 in Beatty, 70 in Amargosa. Now we're talking 72 in Las Vegas. Positively room temperature, and the hot spot in the state today, ring ding ding. Death Valley, 80 degrees, and here in the paradise of Pahrump, let's take a look. Current temperature, 66 scant degrees. Up here in the desert, sunny weather finally. Boy, we had some rain this morning as the sun rose at 6:01 a.m. and it's setting this evening at 7:23 p.m. We'll see a low tonight of about 46 degrees. Those clouds should all be blown away effectively soon out of the north with the winds at 10 miles per hour. As we head into the weekend, it's going to be pretty, I mean really pretty. Look at this beautiful clear skies Saturday and Sunday. Temperatures all the way up in the upper 70s. We hit the 80s and upper 80s even Tuesday, Wednesday. of next week. Looks like those winds are really starting to kick throughout next week. In fact, just looking at an extended forecast over the next 2 weeks, and we see winds averaging about 15 miles per hour next couple weeks. So a little bit windy time of year, but that's all right. Those temperatures are starting to keep up, and that just gives us a little cooling relief. What do you think? All right, back to the desk. Have a great weekend. Here's Dee-Anna.
I'm liking that purple tie.
I do. I like that. And the
All
temperatures
spring.
are getting warmer again. Some light winds.
I know we were just talking about that. It's not the temperatures that are next week. It's the temperatures we know what's coming.
Yeah, exactly.
We know.
We know it's coming.
All right. So, we had the debates for the last 2 weeks. Nye County Republican Central Committee. We have one more left. Yep. And it's going to promise to be super just riveting, and everybody's going to love it.
Okay.
So last night,
you say so.
We're waiting for the district attorney debates to be completely uploaded so that you guys can see what happened last night with the treasurer and, of course, Commissioner District 5 and the district attorney. We also had the assessor. So we want to upload that. You get to see it in its entirety. Next week, we will have, of course, streaming as well with the Commission District 4, Commission District 1, Nevada Assembly District 36, the recorder, and, of course, it's going to be lots of fun. It's going to be our final one. We might have some a little bit later. We're still talking about it, so we'll see how that goes.
Okay.
But we want to thank the Nye County Republican Central Committee. Of course, it's from 5 to 9 p.m. at the Bob Roode Community Center on Thursday.
And then we have, what do we have coming up next? We got Hypno Comics has got a big event coming up
This
next
is exciting.
Wednesday. I know Jason David Frank autograph signing, Last Fan Standing. That's where you would know him from. Again, that's going to happen at 3 p.m. at Hypno Comics.
Well, he's actually the Green Power Ranger. Yeah. And he also has another movie that is coming up soon that we did an exclusive interview with him today. And you're going to find out all about all that stuff coming up soon. And, of course, keep track on our KPVM Facebook page so you can see some of the things that he has done. And he's going to be there at 3 p.m. next Wednesday to sign autographs at 720 East Street, right there at Hypno Comics.
Very cool.
We also want to let everybody know about the museum.
Yeah, the museum's got their big anniversary celebration going on. That's going to happen this weekend from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. You want to come out and celebrate, join, and the Historical Society is going to be there. Lots of fun stuff. The Amateur Radio Club, gold panning, so many things going on. So make sure to head on out there as well.
And that, once again, is going to be Saturday 10 to 4 at 401 East Basin Avenue. Come on by. It's going to be lots of fun over there. Sundance Ranch on the south end of town is having a spring fling as well. It starts at 4 p.m. You can find out more by going onto their Facebook page at Sundance Ranch. And the Poorhouse is having their karaoke competition tonight and tomorrow, beginning at 6:30. They're right there on Highway 160.
You're going to be out there. I know you.
I'm going to be there Saturday night. I want to get the finalists. It's going to be lots of fun.
Well, that does it for us. Have a great weekend and get out there and have some fun. I'm Stacey Jensen.
I'm Dee-Anna O'Donnell. Good night.
Good night.